Introduction: a forgotten continent. For centuries, the story of America has been told as a short one. A young continent, a new world, a land without deep history until Europeans arrived. But what if that story is incomplete? What if advanced societies rose and fell across North America long before Columbus ever set sail? What if cities, trade networks, astronomers, and engineers shaped this land thousands, perhaps tens of thousands of years earlier than we were taught? Hidden beneath forests, deserts, and modern cities lies a deeper past. A past buried not only by time, but by outdated assumptions. This is the story of ancient America before the ice melted, before history was rewritten, and before an entire continent was misunderstood. Chapter 1. Before the ice, redefining the first Americans. For most of the 20th century, archaeologists believed they had solved the mystery of the first Americans. According to the Clovis first theory, humans arrived in North America around 13,000 years ago. They crossed a frozen land bridge, Bering, connecting Siberia to Alaska during the last ice age. Their distinctive stone tools, known as Clovis points, were found across the continent. For decades, this theory dominated textbooks, museums, and classrooms. But science evolved, and evidence began to challenge the story. In New Mexico, fossilized human footprints were discovered in ancient lake sediments. Radiocarbon dating revealed something shocking. They were more than 23,000 years old. In Mexico, stone tools were found in caves dated to over 30,000 years ago. In South America, sites suggested even earlier human presence. These discoveries forced archaeologists to confront an uncomfortable question. What if humans arrived in the Americas long before the Ice Age corridors even existed? Some researchers now propose arrival dates between 30,000 and 40,000 years ago, possibly by coastal migration, possibly by boats, possibly through routes we have yet to fully understand. This challenges not just a timeline, but an entire framework of human migration. Why was this idea resisted for so long? Because rewriting history means rewriting certainty, and certainty is powerful. Chapter 2, Empire of the Sun, the Rise of Cahokia. Around the year 1100 CE, while medieval Europe struggled through disease and feudal conflict, a powerful city thrived in North America. Its name was Cahokia, located near the Mississippi River. Cahokia was the largest urban center north of Mexico. At its peak, it housed 30,000 to 40,000 people, a population rivaling London at the time. At the city's heart stood Monk's Mound, a massive earthen pyramid. Its base area was larger than Egypt's Great Pyramid of Giza. This was no primitive settlement. Cahokia featured organized neighborhoods, plazas, ceremonial centers, and engineered landscapes. Its people practiced advanced agriculture, growing maize on a massive scale. They understood astronomy, aligning structures with solstices and equinoxes. One of Cahokia's most remarkable features was Woodhenge, a solar calendar made of wooden posts. It precisely tracked the sun's movement across the seasons. Cahokia was a political, religious, and economic powerhouse. And then it collapsed. By 1350 CE, the city was largely abandoned. No evidence of invasion, no signs of catastrophic destruction, just a slow, quiet disappearance. Why did North America's greatest city vanish? Chapter 3. Architects of the Canyon, the Pueblo and Mystery. In the deserts of the American Southwest, stone cities rise from cliffs and canyons. Chaco Canyon, Mesa Verde, places that defy expectation. Between 850 and 1150 CE, the ancestral Pueblans built massive great houses using precisely cut stone. Some structures contained hundreds of rooms rising several stories high. Even more astonishing was their alignment with the cosmos. Buildings were oriented towards solar solstices and lunar cycles. Doorways framed sunlight on specific sacred days. Roads stretched for miles in perfectly straight lines across rugged terrain. These people possessed no written language, no metal tools, no beasts of burden, yet their engineering rivaled civilizations across the world. Then abruptly, they left. Entire cities were abandoned. Cliff dwellings stood empty. There was no evidence of violent conquest, no widespread destruction, only silence. Possible explanations include prolonged drought, social upheaval, religious transformation, or migration. But no single answer explains everything. The Puebloan departure remains one of North America's greatest archaeological mysteries. Chapter 4. The Copper Kings, North America's Forgotten Metal Age. Long before European contact, the Great Lakes region was home to one of the world's largest ancient mining operations. Thousands of pits, miles of tunnels, tons of extracted copper. This activity began as early as 3000 BCE. Indigenous miners used stone, hammers and fire-setting techniques to extract native copper from bedrock. They shaped it into tools, weapons and ornaments. Copper artifacts from this region have been found thousands of kilometers away, evidence of vast trade networks spanning the continent. This was not a simple, isolated culture. It was organized, skilled, technologically advanced, and yet this metal age vanished from mainstream history. Why? Because it did not fit the narrative that complex. Metallurgy arrived only with Europeans, but archaeology tells a different story, one of innovation, knowledge, and forgotten mastery. Chapter 5, Echoes of the Great Drought. What connects Cahokia, Chaco Canyon, and the copper cultures? Climate. Scientific analysis of tree rings, lake sediments, and ice cores reveals that North America experienced prolonged megadroughts between 900 and 1400 CE. These droughts lasted decades, sometimes longer. Rivers dried, crops failed, food systems collapsed. Urban centers dependent on agriculture became vulnerable. Social tensions rose, migration increased. Cahokia's population declined. Chaco Canyon was abandoned. Trade networks fractured. These civilizations did not suddenly disappear. They unraveled, slowly, humanly. Conclusion, the real lesson of ancient America. When Europeans arrived in 1492, they believed they had discovered a new world. In reality, they encountered the remnants of an old one, a continent shaped by tens of thousands of years of human history, by cities that rose and fell, by knowledge gained and lost. Ancient America was not empty. It was not primitive. It was not simple. It was complex, innovative, resilient, and fragile. And its story is still being uncovered. Because history is not fixed, it is rewritten with every discovery. And beneath the soil of America, the past is still waiting to speak.